You know, politicians, they come and politicians go, but very few can claim to give rise to a movement. And my next guest can. Ron Paul is a longtime Republican congressman from Texas, and before that, he was a very busy OBGYN. You know him best as a steadfast champion of small government. I mean small and individual freedoms. Paul inspired millions in his 2008 run for president, and just last year he decided not to seek re-election to Congress so he could run full-time for president this year. And he picked up 190 Republican delegates and still has not endorsed Mitt Romney. And Ron Paul joins me on the phone this hour from Clute, Texas. Congressman Paul, nice to have you back on the show here.
Thank you. Good to be with you, bro.
Good to be with you. Let's just get right to it. In this 11th hour, live on CNN, sir, are you finally ready to close ranks around your party's nominee?
Oh, not quite, because I don't think there's enough difference between the two candidates, and I assume the victor today will be the status quo, because I think the status quo has been up and there's no competition, so we're going to continue with basically the same policies that we've had for a long time, so I don't see the election as the way it's turned out to be very crucial at all. So
you're saying status quo, which means, are you saying the president will win another 4 years?
No, I would say either person would carry on the status quo, because they essentially endorse, government managed medical care variations, varies a little bit. They endorse the same foreign policy of having our troops around the world and doing a lot of things I don't believe in. They endorse the monetary system. They haven't addressed the subject of cutting spending.
Well, let me jump in, because let's talk money. Let's talk money, Congressman, because I am sure you are aware this is by far the most expensive election in U.S. history. By some estimates, we're hearing $6 billion, that is billion with a B, dollars raised and spent by, this is all the candidates, all the races nationwide. A lot of Americans, Congressman Paul, they're shocked by that, and a lot of them are appalled by that. Should they be appalled?
No, I think I'm indifferent to it. I think we should be shocked to know that people are willing to put that money up. Not that they did, but why are they doing it, and why have they been hoodwinked into thinking that there's a real contest going on? That's where the real problem is. But the fact that people can spend their money and they want to invest in politics, that's fine. But it's just
even if it's in the billions of dollars, and you are
candidates.
But sir, you're so appalled by spending in general. It doesn't matter to you if people are spending $6 billion on the races?
Not a whole lot. I mean, if I were independently wealthy and not involved in a campaign, and I had a lot of money, and people, both parties were undermining my liberties and taking away my Fourth Amendment rights and pursuing bills like the Patriot Act and assassination of American citizens, I should be able to spend all the money I want on trying to tell the people that there's something wrong with the system. So it's how they spend it. What's wrong is all this money is being spent to influence and control and own government to be used for their benefit, the special interests, and that's what's wrong. It's how they spend it and what they're spending on, not the principle of spending the money and being able to lobby and petition, the politicians and to try to change things.
Congressman, let's talk change and let's talk Congress, because I know, as we mentioned, you are saying goodbye to Capitol Hill, but I want you to hear what one of your Senate colleagues just told 60 Minutes this weekend about the culture of modern politics.
The best thing that could happen is all of us lose and send some people up here who care more about the country than they do their political party or their position in politics.
How about that, sir? Do you agree with that? That was Senator Tom Coburn.
Yeah, I agree with that, because I think everything, probably not everything, but close to everything, is designed for power. I argue the case there's not much difference. And you mean these races aren't very important? Why do they pretend? Well, they don't. They want the control. Who has the powers? Whose special interests will be protected? And so it is very real, and therefore the party structures are designed to find out which group of people will have the control and who's going to have the benefits. And I think it's the role of government that has gotten out of hand. If government wasn't doing so much, there wouldn't be such an incentive to invest this. So I basically agree with his statement.
But Congressman, if you agree with him, then don't you, though, share some of the blame, having largely inspired what we know now is the Tea Party movement?
Well,
you laugh, Congressman.
we're trying to make the point that this is a broke system and we have to do something else and something differently. So hardly would voicing the opinion and point out where the problems are would be making things worse. So if we just sit back and say, well, just let it continue, then there's this pretense that they're really having a debate. But there was no debate on the important issues.
Okay.
In the last 3 months or so, when the candidates had been selected.
Okay.
Where did they fundamentally and philosophically disagree on the role of government? On foreign policy, the same thing. Monetary policy, same thing. Did they talk about spending and how bad the debt was and about the baseline budgeting, the evils of that?
I hear your frustration. I asked you in the commercial break if you voted. You said that was top secret. I asked anyway. You said yes. Once again, you won't tell me who you voted for, Congressman Paul?
No.
All right.
Here's how I voted. I mean,
try.
The campaign's over. It's important that people think about the issues.
Congressman Ron Paul, thanks for picking up the phone and calling us. We appreciate it. From Clute, Texas.